after school programs. I know we have a lot of after school programs on today, and I know they're probably here for a training. Could be considered a training for them because it's talking about this topic. Um, but I think we should do more training with after school programs as well. What do you
Absolutely,
think
and
about
and I think that anybody that is on here that really would like a more in-depth training, Christie House does offer a CSEC 101 training, and if you go to our website, www.christiehouse.org, you'll see that there's a list of our trainings, and we have an incredible education and outreach team that provide this training. I join them, as well sometimes to do the trainings, and we actually train case managers, law enforcement to receive their certifications that they have actually been trained in human trafficking for this
Mhm.
3-hour CSEC 101. So anybody joining that does work with children, that works in after school programs, that is a teacher, that cares, please take this 3-hour course, especially now that we're home. I know that they're offering it soon. I don't know the exact date, but if you look it up on our website, it really will help you to identify risks, what to do, where to go. It's an incredible training.
Yes. Um, I know we tend to talk about trafficking in the sense that it's a girl issue, it's a woman issue. Because we just, even in my example, I gave a female example of getting hair done, nails done, and all of that. Um, Trafficking isn't only a girl issue; it's a
No,
boy issue.
it is.
So how do we protect our boys, and what does that look like when we see if a boy is getting trafficked?
I mean, so Project Gold, I'm going to say, is an all-girl program. It stands for Girls Owning Their Lives and Dreams. And actually, the girls, the first members actually created that name.
Mhm.
However, we know that this is not a girl-only issue. Just similar to sexual abuse, there is that stigma, unfortunately, attached for males. And it does impact the LGBTQ population incredibly, and they are at high risk of exploitation and trafficking due to their vulnerabilities, as are males. And I think, again, it's part of that awareness, part of that acceptance, removing that stigma, on boys that if something like this happens to them, they're gay, or they're going to be gay, and they're going to be put down by society, and that unfortunately it holds males back from feeling confident enough to come forward and to talk about this. But we know that this happens to males, and unfortunately, in most of the statistics out there, you're going to see very, very low numbers as related to boys. But we know that is absolutely not the case. So I think talking to our boys in our schools, empowering it, making it an open conversation, that there are services, that they don't have to be ashamed of getting those services. And so we actually will, when we see the cases of boys come in, we do have a referral source, and we send those referrals out so that, to make sure that the boys are receiving the services that are needed. And it is a gap in our community right now for boys to be receiving those services. So we are actually presently trying to acquire a grant that is going to allow us to further, partner with some of the other organizations to make sure that we continue training and educating and getting those services out there to boys.
Perfect. Let us know how we can help at the Overtown Children and Youth Coalition for that.
Absolutely.
Sure. Um, so we covered, we know the industry is big. It touches all of the neighborhoods here in South Florida. So that's Little Haiti, it's Overtown, it's Liberty City. Um, what happens when the trafficker, because we want to believe that the trafficker is somebody that we don't know. But what happens when the trafficker is somebody that's in the
Okay.
household with the child?
So this is intrafamilial trafficking. We see that happens. People are shocked that something like that could exist, but especially in cases where there's substance abuse, happening, and we have parents that are addicted to substances, they will unfortunately go to extreme lengths to satisfy, their need of that substance. And many of them will unfortunately traffic their own children, and networks of families are created where parents, father, grandmother, are all in this together, because they start to really they see the money, the financial gain, and they really do start creating their own trafficking rings. And unfortunately, this is something that does happen, and it makes it difficult, right, to take down a family system like that, because there's so much loyalty involved within, the family system. But we continue working with law enforcement and within legislation to combat this and to fight these problems. But it does make it difficult for us to fight it when it is intrafamilial and it is happening within the home.
Yeah. I'm going to bring in Zamora right now.